when we fought the doubleheader, that was like what we've always done, like all of our life. It's just one of those things, like being a twin, you got a competitor, you got a self-motivating image in front of you. Me and Jamil just don't see eye to eye sometimes. We're so competitive. And maybe after boxing or maybe after our careers, he'll realize that, like, you know, I was being an asshole.
Jermall is more outgoing and Jamel is more serious. So even though they're twins, they're two different people. I think they have kind of drifted apart a little bit. And that brings tension between the two of them.
Let's start right there. This is episode 1. From my understanding, there's going to be only one episode, and they're probably going to do some digital stuff on their website, meaning for Showtime Championship Boxing's June 19th edition, featuring Jermall Charlo, WBC 160-pound middleweight champion, 31-0 with 22 KOs. His last fight was against Sergey Derevianchenko, defending his WBC title. That was last September 26th on the Charlo doubleheader, where his brother also fought. As you've heard, they've had some bad blood for quite some time. His brother Jermall Charlo fought to defeat Jason Rosario to not only retain his WBC 154-pound title, but to win the IBF, the Ring, and the WBA Super World titles. He's going to be fighting also in July. It's July, right? Against Brian Castano for the WBO to be the first PBC Al Heyman Showtime fighter to ever be undisputed in the 4-belt era. I'm TstreeT Controversy with FightView360.com. We're going to be jumping around. I've actually just finished the whole episode, but I went back to one of my timestamps so you can pretty much hear what's been going on with Jermall and Jermall Charlo. They've been beefing. Brothers, you know, especially twins, you know, they got their whole telekinesis type shit going on. You know, they're going to be cool, but people just have spats. And they're both very successful brothers. By the way, let's go back to this next timestamp. In fact, we're going to hear them out. And then you got to see this dude's house. Shit, them PBC fighters are paid well. You know, and we see why it's very difficult to pry them away from Al Heyman, no matter how much, you know. But anyway, let's listen in. Please subscribe. Take your time out, like the video. I'm going to be here on Saturday night covering this fight. Saturday, June 19th is a very, 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 very busy day in combat sports. We're going to talk about it later on in the video. Oh, I almost choked. Goddamn, almost choked to death. I'm watching this, by the way, on Showtime Anytime. People always ask, you know, TstreeT, how do you watch these? It's Showtime Anytime. If you have Showtime the channel, then you have Showtime Anytime the app. Just get who pays the bill, whoever logs in. I have it through Larian Fios. And they have both episodes. I'm going to be covering Davis versus Barrios later on. But also, here, let me show you even something else. Oh, I was researching this dude's mysterious death. Hold up, what was I doing? Network, social media, YouTube. You can also watch this full episode on the Showtime Sports YouTube page, but the problem is they're edited where, you know, they blur out the curse words and things like that. So I would prefer that I would recommend that you watch it through Showtime Anytime if you have it. Or, you know, you want to just simply, you know, easily available, boom, you have both episodes right here, including a new episode of Inside Mayweather versus Paul, which really, honestly, I have no interest in, even though I've covered every single episode of Mayweather versus whatever All Access. So let's go back to it, and I want you to listen into this. Let's see, hopefully my timestamp. Oh, there we go. All right, we're back. Please subscribe. Like the video.
I don't like it, and I told them they came into the world together, and at the end of the day, no matter what happens, you all are both brothers. You're brothers. They might have their little spits and spats, but at the end of the day, I seen them supporting one another and hugging each other.
I miss being with Jermall. I miss him being over here in the chair next to me and feeding off each other. We share like a different bond. I want to see us both be at the top. I want to be at the top together. But we can never just win the race together. It's got to be a winner or a loser. First and a second place. Sometimes I'm okay with being second place. I'm okay with letting him have his shine. Because when he shine, I shine. Right?
As I've gotten older, you know, I have a better, you know, time being able to tell the Charlos apart. You know, and I think hardcore boxing fans have a better time doing it too, because you see them so much, you know, watching their fights, you can kind of really tell. And especially looking at the size difference between both of them. Let's go to our next timestamp. You got to check out this dude's house, and then we're going to talk about my man right here, Juan Macías Montiel. I'm TstreeT Controversy with Fight View 360. Please subscribe.
This is crazy. This is what we do, man. There's my other Billy on the way.
You see that? That's his whole crib. Here, let me rewind it some more. You know, that's his crib. You know, that's the gym he's built on his property. Then he's got even a guest house. Now, I know what fans are going to say, what the fuck? How's he making all this money fighting whoever the fuck he's fighting?
This is crazy. This is what we do, man. There's my other Billy on the way.
Multiple Bentleys, Rolls Royce,
Yeah, the coupe.
DeLorean in the crib. That's his wife.
This one right here. This is actually my car, though. Oh, no. That's, hey, I like that. Man, I got the Bentayga.
They're doing good out there, them PBC fighters and them Charlo guys. So, the episode, I'm going to rate it an 8 of 10. You know, nothing too, you know, 8 of 10, nothing classic about it. But for it to be just one episode, we pretty much got what we needed from it. You know, we've learned about, you know, how he's got where he's got today. We've got to look into his lifestyle, and my God, they're living good out there. Got to look into his family life and his wife. I don't know if it's his longtime partner or if it's his wife. He has 5 kids. We don't know if they're all with the same woman or with her. I would pretty much think that they are, you know, but I don't like getting into people personal shit, you know, anymore. But nonetheless, he seems like a very well put together dude. Like, you know, everything going well for him. You know, and he has a nice, you know, reputation. And being him, he had some bad blood back in the day. Let me tell you that. You know, he thought I was Team Hatley. But I'm not Team Hatley, damn it. Long story. You have to know the whole backstory, and we don't have time to explain it. But I'm explaining a little bit to you anyway. So I showed up at, what was it, Berto versus Sean Porter, and I believe it was Jermall Charlo versus Charles Hatley on the undercard as the co-feature, the chief support. So it's at a hotel, God knows where in Manhattan, God knows where the press conference. I show up late, so everybody knows, well, if you're in media, you know you want to show up early to get the good spot. So I show up late, having to get from Philly to New York, and I was extremely ill at the time. So just so happened, I show up, and I'm dressed like Team Hatley. Mistakenly. I'm over on the side with Team Hatley, mistakenly, because that's the only place to stand. And I noticed that the Charlos just ice grilling us. I guess they thought I was with I'm not Team Hatley. I was never Team Hatley. I'm not from Texas. All right, but anyway, moving on. So I went to go try to interview him. And he was talking to Radio Raheem, who owes me $250. Him and Dave Chappelle, by the way. Don't get me started. I'm not even bullshitting you. Whole different story. So, Dave Chappelle owed me $250. And now that I didn't get my money from him, now Radio Raheem now owe me $250. That's how I feel about it. It's been like 4 years. 3 years. 2018. Yeah. So, moving on. So I go to try to talk to him, and he go, you know how they do that, the Charlos do that thing where they turn their head like, no more interviews. And he just turned around and he'd do this to me. He looked back like give me like the ice grill. And I'm like, damn, bro, what the fuck? So then let me tell you how he broke my heart. Fast forward, God knows when, I'm guessing this is at the end of 2019. I got my credentials over there, but I don't want to pull them out. I'm at Charlo versus Harrison and Charlo versus Korobov. Now, in my personal opinion, I'll go to the grave saying it. I think that Charlo lost that fight. So I'm at the post-fight press conference. I'm checking my Twitter, and I forgot who asked me. Somebody says, TstreeT, you know, I see you at the press conference, you know, ask what he think about fans saying he lost the fight. to Korobov at the post-fight press conference, PBC on Fox. So I'm like, okay, all right, cool. I'm gonna read it. So I give him a little disclaimer. Video's here on the channel. I'm like, all right, Jermall. What did I say? Did I say this is probably gonna ruffle your feathers or make you upset? I said some old shit like that. And then I was like, so what do you say to fans saying that you lost the fight? So he like, so what'd he say? He like, I'm sorry, who are you? And I'm like, Terrell Van Fight 360. And he was like, never heard of you. I was like, and then he started just going in on me. And then he just kept grilling me. And then all these Texas niggas act like they wanted to fight. Oh, long story. But anyway, jump cut. Let's get back to the episode. Let's talk about my man Juan Macías Montiel. I tell you, I got some stories, man. I got some stories.
Charlo, lo veo con un boxeador pues muy movido. Es un peleador completo, pero nunca ha peleado con Juan Montiel.
He's never fought a complete fighter.
Derecha. Sí, siempre jala bien en la derecha mucho. Esto pues me motiva, siento que
all of this just motivates me more.
Con esta preparación y con todo
all of my preparation and sacrifices
vienen esos resultados. Así como llega,
will bring great results.
no lo sabes aprovechar y sí. La fama se te sube a la cabeza con dinero, es muy peligroso. Esperemos que llegue ese gran momento y que se sepa.
Y'all give Montiel a chance?
Sí, no lo conocen todavía,
We gonna see.
Y van a ser otro boxeador de élite de primer nivel.
And he started talking about like Canelo too, and you know, we gonna see. Hey, listen, 22-4-2, 22 KOs. He does have that going for him. You know, everybody he does defeat, he do knock him out. So he do got that going for him. But it's like, shit, you went a split decision with Hugo Centeno, who got sparked out by Charlo. Even though he did have a bum leg, but still. You know, you got sparked out by Jaime Munguia, who's also fighting this weekend against Camille Zermaida, Juneteenth, by the way. God knows I probably heard of this dude before, but who the hell is this? You want a split decision? You know, I want to believe. I want to believe. I want to believe. I want to. But right now, I ain't seeing nothing that's really just like, yo, he gonna motherfucker fuck him up. I'm not seeing it.
He hit hard.
Dermianchenko was coming on in this round and continues to deliver combos, but the champion continues to be effective in every way.
But you see, with fighters like him, you can't rush.
You gotta take your time on it.
Yeah, for sure. In the 9th round, I threw a left hook, and it kind of hurt him. Ronnie told me he can't see out of the right eye. Stop using the left hand and throw nothing but right hands.
You're hurting him now, okay? You're starting to hurt him. Double the jab right hand.
We've got ourselves a title fight.
Everyone that was talking about, you know, Derek Chica got to beat Charlo. Jermall might not just be ready for this type of level, this competition. I didn't listen to none of that. I was gonna go out there and dominate. And that's exactly what I did. I dominated. I give myself an A for the win, flawless victory. But I really wish I would have knocked him out. It would have got the attention of the world.
How can you not build respect?
I was cussing. My bad. I was cussing. Maybe it's good that I was muted so you couldn't hear me cussing. Well, anyway, I was saying I remember being pissed off, and that I enjoyed the Charlo doubleheader, but I remember being pissed the F off that I had to buy through, that I did decide to purchase through Showtime digital and not through my cable provider. They got to work out some kinks. So you may have heard recently how people were having issues with Showtime with Mayweather versus Paul, and they're giving out like mass refunds. But anyway, yeah, he went. By the way, Montiel, he went motherfucking split decision with this dude. Here's the undercard. Angelo Leo versus Aaron Alameda. Isaac Cruz versus Francisco Vargas. Ooh, like that. And I don't even know who these people are. It's going to be taking place in the Toyota Center down in Houston. Of course, it's going to be on regular Showtime. The 160-pound division, let's not even count Canelo anymore. Jermall Charlo is the champion. Canelo's not going back down to 160. Ryota Murata and Golovkin are supposed to share a card coming up sometime soon, I guess. And they're supposed to fight each other later on down in the year. Murata, the WBA Super. And Golovkin, the IBF. Erislandy Lara. Is Erislandy Lara still with Rodney Shields? Because I would love to see Charlo versus Lara, but I highly doubt that's going to happen. And of course, as you can see, Erislandy Lara has that bullshit belt right there. And we're going to make sure we fix this. This keeps bothering me. Demetrius Andrade, WBO. Fans keep calling for that. I want to see that fight, but I have no... Listen, I don't see it happening, man. I want to believe, but I don't see it happening. And when you look at the rankings, I put it this way, the WBC rankings at 160 are ill. Like, look. And when you're a champion, you have to fight somebody ranked in the top 15. And the 160-pound division as a whole is just really, really top-heavy. Until guys possibly from 154 move up. And then we will be talking about the big dog at 154, his own brother Jermall, and they're not fighting each other. But overall, I am going to rate it a good episode. You know, as I said, I'm going to give it an 8 of 10. You know, we pretty much seen...
Pero fue triunfador, somos de familia triunfadores. Pues estoy peleando por mi familia, por mi niño. A poner el nombre en alto, los Montiel nuevamente, otro campeón Montiel.
You know, we didn't learn anything really new. You know, I mean, you did see that Charlo is missing his brother. You know, like I said earlier, they got the whole twin thing going on. You know.
Una historia de hijo campeón del mundo y nieto campeón del mundo. Vestiendo a Charlo, creo que se cumple uno de mis sueños y pues a hacer historia.
I want to believe he'll beat Charlo.
Familia Montiel.
No, I don't. I don't believe it.
These men will brawl what exactly they're fighting for in the way that most matters, that makes them most alike. Because what Charlo wants is what Montiel wants, and it's not something either can buy. It's something one or the other must take. Jermall Charlo will face Juan Montiel Saturday, June 19th, only on Showtime.
Yeah, so the fight week schedule has not come out yet. Let me check. In fact, while we're here, let's talk about the busy Juneteenth schedule. So over on Triller, of course, you're going to have Teofimo Lopez versus George Kambosos for all of the belts at 140 pounds, 135. Franchon Cruz Dezern versus Eileen Selderoos. I'm interested in this fight. Undisputed at 168, even though I believe 2 of those belts are going to be vacant. Nonetheless, still a significant fight for both female fighters. Michael Hunter, you know, is staying active against Mike Wilson. Oh, I got to take this call. Hello, Bell. Bell, can